Hey, what's going on guys? Carl here from themorrismethod.com, bringing you a brand new video. Today I'm going to show you how you can develop your flatter belly. Now with summer coming up, that is a desirable look for a lot of people, and for some it will take longer than others, but we can all start somewhere, and that is what we're going to get into today. So today we're working on two different areas. We've got the transverse abdominis and we have the pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor, as the name suggests, sits at the bottom of our pelvis, and the transverse abdominis wraps around our torso. So first, before we develop them, we need to find out where they are and how we can use them, and then we can develop them in the workouts. So the pelvic floor, the first and easiest way to find this muscle is to visualize yourself peeing and then stopping yourself midstream, okay? Now it's that suction that you feel when you stop yourself peeing, not a pleasant thought. And another way where you can use that is imagine yourself sucking up a milkshake through a straw up your bottom. Not a pleasant thought, but think about that right now. So you're midstream and you're sucking that milkshake. Those muscles there that are contracting is your pelvic floor. Okay, now I want you to do that exercise every single day, no matter where you are. You can sit down at work or sitting down eating, and you're doing those exercises constantly, okay? And now the second, to work out our transverse abdominis, you're going to be using it again mentally, visualizing yourself walking into an ice cold lake, going from shallow to deep, and the water just comes above our waist and our belly sucks. Now that is working your transverse. It's that belly tightening and the belly button coming in as close to your spine as it can. So it's sucking in right there, okay? So those two exercises are how we found those transverse abdominis and the pelvic floor. Now how can we develop them? Let's go onto the mat. Okay, so we're on the mat. Now what can we do to find our muscles, and how can we test ourselves to make sure we're getting stronger? So the test we're going to do is a lying leg lower. So from here, we're going to have our arms to the side. You're going to bring your legs up. Now what we're going to do is use those two exercises we just did. Suck the pelvic floor in, suck the transverse in, and make sure that back is dead flat onto the floor. Okay? Now from here, all you're going to do is simply lower your legs as long as you can by keeping that back down, and as soon as your back arches up, that's your distance, okay? And that's your target that you can beat throughout this. So if you do that target, that test every single week, trying to get lower and lower and lower, and then the end goal is to come all the way down to the floor by making sure your back doesn't come up, and then you can raise up. Okay, making sure that back stays flat. And that is our test. Okay, now exercises. We are going into a hollow hold and a plank. So the hollow hold, simple move again. We're coming off the ground with the legs, off the ground with the back, with the shoulders, and it's sucking in through the core so that back stays straight. It's not an easy exercise, but we're going to be doing this for 20 seconds, and I want you to do this 10 times, okay? For 20 seconds of rest, and then times that by 10 reps, okay? And then next we're going to flip over into a plank. Now the plank, a lot of people do, and a lot of people do wrong, and it's easy to do wrong. So from here, this we don't want. I see this a lot all over the world, making that back really arched, sticking the bum up. Now from here, to make sure you're doing that right, get that kegel, get that transverse, tilt that pelvis, and there we are, okay? So we're sucking the transverse in, we're getting the belly button in nice and tight, we're using our pelvic floor and the kegel, suck that pelvic floor in, breathe and control. Now I guarantee if you do this exercise correctly, you're not going to be able to hold the plank as long as you think you have before, okay? So pelvic floor, tucking in that kegel, and then tightening of the transverse abs, bringing that belly button in tight. And again, we want you to hold that for 20 seconds times 10, okay? Those two exercises back to back will work great, but how can we develop with movement? So from here, we're going to be going on back onto our back. We have reverse crunches, okay? So from here, knees bent, belly button sucked in, back is straight, kegels are fired, pelvic floor's in. We're going to squeeze, and then we're going to lift the back up at the top. Now from here, as you go down, you want your back to be flat
until your heels touch. And then we squeeze.
Now movement is harder than static holds, so we're going to be doing this for 10 reps, okay? From here, we're going into dead bug. Now we're lying on our back with our arms up. Again, exactly the same concept. The lower back doesn't leave the floor. As soon as it does, we're stopping, we're retracting, correcting ourselves, and we go again. So from here, we're going to lower one leg all the way straight and bring it back. And then the other leg comes out, we alternate. The back stays straight on the ground and we come back. Sucking that pelvic floor in all the time, as well as the transverse, keeping the back straight. And again, we're going to be doing 10 reps on each side, and then you can have a rest for 10 different sets. And our last exercise, we're going into Russian twists. They're a favourite of a lot of people, but again, a lot of people do wrong. And I see all over this movement. Back's really arched, not really working our abs at all, just working our shoulders and our biceps. So how are we going to correct that? We're going to leave your feet on the ground. We're going to bring your chest up. You're going to lean back until the palms are at your knees, okay? Roughly about 45 degrees in the back, but the back stays straight. Abs in tight. Now we can twist. And again, it's a lot harder than it looks and what you do normally by using a weight, rounding over, doing as fast as you can. That isn't working your transverse at all. You'll just be developing your biceps. Yes, you are going to get a little burn of your abs, but you can do it a lot better by slow movement controlled. And those are my chosen exercises that you can do to get that flatter belly. Every single day, I want you to complete these exercises and then test yourself every week using that lying leg drop. And I guarantee you're going to be getting stronger and you're going to get fitter, and that belly is going to be getting flatter. Okay guys, if you like this video, drop me a like below, hit me a comment on what you like most, subscribe with the bells on so you never miss a future video, and I will see you coming up in the next one. See ya.